Hi, I'm Tony Fackery. Thank you for joining me today on this video blog. Today's discussion is don't fight reality. Listen, the greatest war we undertake is often within ourselves, since we create mental anguish when life does not go according to plan. And that is when our internal world does not match our external world, then there is a collision. There is a collision in relationship to the suffering that occurs inside. And isn't it interesting that the suffering never occurs externally? It is within. So our picture within us does not match the picture of our external reality. And what that tells me is that we have the power to change our internal perception and our internal reality. So what I ask you to do is surrender. Now, surrender is both an emotional and mental process of letting go of your preconceived ideas, your preconceived thoughts, your preconceived notions and beliefs as to how you think life should play out. And you notice I said how you think life should play out. And when you let go of these notions, these ideas, beliefs and thoughts, you actually allow what is. It's the isness of life, the perfection of life. And listen, sometimes life will take a detour. Unexpected things will show up in your life. Untoward circumstances may reveal themselves. But I ask you to suspend judgment. Suspend judgment until the complete picture of your reality is formed and begins to take shape in your life. So a novel way in order to respond to life is to have faith. And for me, the metaphor of having faith is much like a slow burning flame. And that is, a slow burning flame requires time and patience in order to yield. And so if we look at that idea by making small advances in the direction of faith over time, we can see that we begin to trust life. We trust in the process of life rather than fighting reality. And in fact, I originally called this video blog Trust the Process of Life, but I felt that not fighting reality was more of a statement towards unification of our internal world with our external situation. So the process of surrendering to universal intelligence requires that universal wisdom permeates through you without our distracting minds continually, bumping up against it. So universal wisdom or intelligence is doing its job, yet our opposing minds are like two rams constantly, butting heads up against one another. And so if you retreat and allow life to do its job, as I said earlier, by practicing faith, by throwing caution to the wind, so to speak, and allowing life to do its job, and surf with it, become the surfer on the waves. Let life take you where it needs to. And I've mentioned this point in my previous article on the internet about not opposing life, and that is, life knows how to reveal itself. She knows what to do without our distracting minds continually facing opposition. So the other point worth mentioning is that life is impermanent, and so trying to control life is almost like trying to catch water in your hands. Eventually the water will seep out. So life is impermanent if it is to create itself anew within each moment. And knowing this, there's an expiration date to everything. There is no sense of permanence. And for us, when we attempt to control life, that is when the suffering occurs. So rather than oppose, rather than control life, yield to life. Go with the process of life. Flow. Be the water that flows through the brook. And go through life knowing that like water, if it comes up against a stone, it'll make its way around the stone and continue flowing through the brook. And your life is much the same. Continue to yield and allow life to flow. So in order to allow the process of life, start small by venturing out of your comfort zone and take baby steps by allowing yourself to be guided by your inner wisdom. Foster that inner wisdom, harness it, go within, practice, use faith, test the waters, throw caution to the wind. Put yourself out there by trying and experimenting with small things, such as driving your car down the freeway and asking for guidance or inner wisdom to show you which is the right exit. You might be sitting home on a Friday night watching a video and wanting to have a meal. What film do I feel like watching this evening? Be guided by that feeling. That's your intuition guiding you. Thank you once again for joining me on this brief video blog, Don't Fight Reality. Thank you for continuing to subscribe to these video blogs. My name is Tony Fackery, and thank you once again.